All right, haven't done a Tetris video in a while. I've been improving, sort of, but I have a new high score that's way ahead of my prior scores. Almost broke 600,000. I also made it to level 22 one run, though not as many. Had to burn too much. Not as many Tetrises. Not as good a score. Think I'm doing well. It's funny how like in the first couple days of trying to play Tetris, the first game you get some low score, but like the second game starting at a low level, or the third game I was starting to get like 100k, 150k. Within a week, I had hit about 400,000, and then the improvement really feels like it slows down. Like it's really explosive at the start, and then but the 400,000, I should say, was really lucky. Like my second highest score was like 290,000 at that point. So it was just a game that gave me a lot of Tetrises, very generous. All the lines at the right time. And then the improvement really slows. And I think you sort of have the level of like, I can play for Tetrises. I generally know how to fit the pieces. I get my Tetrises. I can do it starting at a low level and I die as it speeds up. And as it speeds up, I start having to go for single line clears instead of Tetrises and stuff like that. And then you start slowly upping what level you start at. Maybe you start at like 5 or 6. That's been recommended. Um, you get up to level 9 starts. Then you get 10, 11, etc. 12 through 14, I think, is all the same speed. I was doing 12 to 14 starts for a while. Then 15 through 17 is all the same speed. That took me a bit to get past. Then there was getting to play at level 18, and then getting like decently good at level 18. Not that like I'm anywhere close to the actually good players, but like I can play comfortably on level 18. Level 18 to me feels like the game's normal speed now. And then you start being able to survive at all at level 19 speeds, because the 18 to 19 jump is huge. Most jumps are like 1.1 times the speed, or 1.2, and 18 to 19 is 1.5 times the speed. And as you've seen, if you watch my Tetris videos, I really struggle on level 19. It's very difficult for me. I've made like 4 or 5 Tetrises on level 19 total, and I play for single line clears, and I still die very quickly. And then there's some point where you get to A, cleaning up your level 18 play, but B, starting to actually play at level 19. I can't play for Tetrises at level 19, which is to say I can't play properly at level 19. I am only playing for survival, and that is much easier and much lower scoring, and I'm still not really able to do it. But at some point, I'll get to the point I have decent survival at level 19, and then I'll be able to move to playing properly at level 19, hopefully. And from what I've read, you should start looking to that jump when you're starting to score in the 500,000s. I'm clearly not doing so regularly, but I have scored there a bit. So let's play a bit. What I'm going to try to do, especially because when I record, sometimes it's a little choppy, which makes it harder to do, is when possible, I'm going to take burns. I'm going to try to play fairly disciplined. And so, for instance, once I'm Tetris ready, a phrase you will hear me say very frequently, I'm going to try to look for ways. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to try to look for ways. Now we have a left well, which is not something I am comfortable with. Uh, so hopefully, you see, I panicked wanting to move the piece over early. This won't take long to clear, but already making mistakes with an uncomfortable well. That didn't really fix the problem, did it? Just a new hanging square. Alright, what's the best way to get rid of this? That won't do it. This won't do it. It'll come. But that was very clumsily gotten rid of. I guess we can go for 10. Let's just get rid of it. Discipline. Discipline. My goal is to be a more reliable player right now in getting to level 19. And I don't need an amazing like Tetris rate getting there. We don't have to take huge risks. I just want to be pretty good at getting to level 19 with regularity, which I talked about last time but clearly have not achieved. Another thing about being disciplined is anytime I don't have a natural piece for a square, just stick it over there on the right. This will just burn away. As I fill up the rest of the board, it will burn away. It won't be the most efficient, but I can do so safely. And yeah, as you can see, it went away and it did so without creating new holes. take a burn when we have it. Wasn't sure where to put stuff. This is a little clumsy, but I think we can clear it pretty fast. I don't have a great square for that piece. That's a bummer. Now we're line dependent. All right, this is going to get very clumsy, but again, we're just going to try make some disciplined burns, get rid of it. You'll notice we're in the red. We're not doing very well on Tetris rate, but that's okay. Ooh, that sucks. All right, well, I'm dead. I meant to slide the T piece over to the left, but one of the things is the higher the board is, the more you kind of scramble to do so, and the more you mistime it. All right, that was a pretty bad first effort for my current level of play, I think. But, you know, I'll blame it on talking. So see, that's just the lower the board is, the much easier it is to slide in there, and the much more I'm able to see those moves in advance. We didn't have a good place for this, so we just stick it over on the right. Was I saying left earlier? I think I was saying left earlier. Wow, brain's gone. Okay, so clumsy start, but we can burn it all away. Not a problem. We just don't want to make long-term problems for ourselves. Short-term problems are fine. Right? Short-term problems we can deal with. We can just go play safely, and it'll all be all right. But long-term problems are a bigger issue. So this is going all right. We have to make a few little concessions. But we're going to take burns when we can, like that one with the T, and just make sure, you know, we want to stay Tetris ready. I don't want to burn kind of below that 4 lines. Oops. All right. Just going to fill this in. I'm sure a good player would have burned this down more efficiently, but again, don't mind doing this, and we didn't risk losing, right? We didn't risk losing. We're still in the green, and it wasn't like some super long burn down. What you really want to avoid is the really lengthy attempting to fix your mistakes. And the safer we play, the less likely we are to get in that situation. Again, when I had a problem piece there, I just stuck it over on the right and trust that it will soon burn off, which it will. I probably didn't have to put that as far over as I did, but again, when in doubt. And luckily, the timing worked out well here, though. That was luck, not skill, of course. And again, if I don't see a square for it, I just can hold right and know it's not like the worst move. It's rarely the optimal move, but also you really don't want to be panicking mid-placing a piece. It's just at that point so easy to make mistakes that I would rather have this kind of. This is a better default than trying to figure it out as the piece is coming down. You want to know where the piece is going, and if you don't want to be figuring it out mid-fall. And if you do see something better than your initial instinct mid-fall, you don't want to switch to it unless it is very close to what you're doing, or you will create trouble for yourself. So that one, I panicked a bit, and this has not gone great. I hate having my well over here. It's very uncomfortable for me. It's not like that terrible. Like it's a little worse, but like you should be able to deal with it. But I'm also so unused to playing with it over there that just the board feels wrong. And I've noticed if you watch some of the top players, there are some that put the well, they aim for the right well, as they should. But if, the pieces come a certain way, they will play for some amount of time with wells in various places. And there are other players that will just immediately go, no, I know I am a significantly more reliable player. This was safety burns, but I think responsible ones. I know I will be just a much better player with the well where I'm used to it, and they will put a lot of effort into making sure the well stays on the right. So I think like even at the very top level, both options are defensible. Trying to play with other wells and just saying, no, I'm not going to accept those. I'm going to move the well to where I know I can play best. Obviously, absolute optimality should be able to have the well, you'd think, anywhere, but even that I'm not so sure of. That's a very cautious safety burn, but we're playing a very comfortable game. We're not being ambitious. We're just trying to get to level 19 with some regularity. And I think this run's going pretty well. We have 104 lines cleared. 130 lines is the transition, so I should pay some attention to that, right? Because that's going to be the point when suddenly I really want the board to be low going into level 19. Oh, and we're starting to misdraw. And now the board is really high, and I don't know what to do with the pieces. So I don't know if we'll ever be able to get something over to the left there, so I might just be dead. Yeah, I couldn't get it there. Ah, shucks. All right, 350k is a really solid score for me.